produce big profits, right? So I'm going to turn it to you because I want to see who's in the room. I know that y'all did a survey, but I want to hear it from you. So we'll start with you in the front. Name, where are you from, what are you working on, a pain point you're dealing with, and if there's one thing that you have right now that would change it all, let us hear it.
My name's Owen. This is also Owen.
All right.
And I'm spinning up that we talked earlier this week, and I'm spinning up that newsletter.
All right.
Finding events with him, and AI finds
Awesome.
them all, and so I'm putting that up.
Awesome. Everybody going to the AI event tomorrow night here? Okay, perfect. Yeah. 5:30, 5th floor. All right, perfect. I'll see you both. Okay. That's awesome. Great. Perfect. Yeah, if you've ever had the conversation with me about newsletters, it'll change your life. So, yes. All right, next.
My name's Paul. Not mentioning product, we're just making computer peripherals very expensive at one point. And we're looking at coming back in here. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
The game's changed. So I'm here to see what the better mousetraps are.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, thank you. Okay, thanks.
I'm Alexander. I'm working at AMD here in town, software share.
Okay.
Probably half the people here. There's some aspects of my job that I kind of hate, that I feel suck my soul. And then I sat on the toilet the other day. I wanted to do something productive while there, and I was like, all right, I have like ideas, but like, how would any of them become money? And then I realized I had no idea. So now I'm here, and I decided to just see what's up.
That's awesome. Yeah, I have a friend who works at IBM on the AI Watson team here, and he's taken my class a couple times. He saw me do the SaaS, build a SaaS product one night, and he says, cool, I have a tool now, and he went and built his company in the weekend, and he launched his new company. So, doable, yes.
All right, here.
Yep.
I'm Dave. I was originally born and raised here, but have been away some decades until this May, and I long worked in consulting role for go-to-market strategies for like Intel, Microsoft at this boutique firm. Team was dissolved. Realized instead of trying to plug back into the corporate world, why don't I just start trying to offer these services on my own and build a portfolio. And so I'm here to learn how to stay organized and some tools and tricks for starting that out.
All right, perfect. Hopefully I show you something new. All right, next.
I'm Allison. I'm also born and raised from Austin. I run a AI for business strategy / consultancy. My biggest pain point right now is that I'm realizing that no matter how many agents I build, I finally need to hire a human to help me out.
Exactly, yes.
And my biggest struggle personally with the business is just that I have a hard time talking to people about pricing and helping to rationalize it, because people don't really know how AI things should be priced, and it's hard to kind of put that in a way that they understand. So.
In the last class that I did for this topic, one of the things I mentioned was just how expensive AI is becoming. In case anybody here uses Replit, I'm sure you saw the huge price hike that they threw on people, right? So what went from like a $200 product was now, for some people, $6,000, $5,000 bills, right? And they were pretty mad about that. Sam Altman has not been, shy about, they're going to be raising their prices pretty soon, right? And I always tell people, like, don't think this is a $20 tool, right? This is not a cheap toy. In 5 years, you're probably going to be paying over $1,000 for most AI tools a month, right? And if you just want 10 tools, you better have some sort of strategy to pay for that, because they are not messing around when it comes to their tools, right? Right now, the $200 model is expected to go up to, I think, $599 pretty soon. Of course, Madness is already there, right? Madness has been already at that price for a while now, and they're okay with that, right? And people are paying for that, so. Thank you for sharing that, though, yes. All right, next.
Hi, my name is Samuel. I just moved to Austin like a month ago. I'm building an immigration compliance platform. That's my first thing. That's why I moved to Austin. But apart from that, I also have a design and branding agency, and I'm actually here to automate the lead generation process for that.
Nice. Yeah. All right, cool. Next. Anyone?
Hey, I'm excuse me, I'm Kari, originally from Oregon, West Coast. East Coast International, Austin, 3 years. Background's education, entertainment. Run a private school, do leadership, executive coaching. On the entertainment side, I do voiceovers, book stuff, music stuff. Trying to come up with some tools so that I can manage and grow all of those things in a real sustainable way.
Nice, okay. Awesome, well, thank you. Thanks.
Hi guys, my name is David Reiner. I'm from Nevada, grew up in Vegas, went to school up in Reno. I just graduated with my master's in mechanical engineering, and I'm looking for a job here out in Texas. I guess the main point on that is looking for a job and finding one. I really want to be in the startup and mid-size world, but most of the jobs that I'm applicable for are large size. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I'm hoping I can meet some cool people here. That's my main thing.
Okay, welcome, yes, alright.
My name is Brock. I'm from Seattle originally, living out here a couple of years. And I work in the growth marketing space, managing influencers online, and yeah, just looking for some tools, lead generation tools, marketing tools, ways to kind of automate the business.
Okay, nice, welcome. Either or, one of the two, she came in and you, we're doing introductions right now, so you're the purple side. Name, where are you from, and what are you working on?
My name is Diane. I'm from Seattle, Washington.
Oh wow, okay.
He's from Seattle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm working on a business called Trailblazer. I just registered it this month. So I'm pretty new in the game.
Good.
But I believe what I wanted to do is like a social enterprise. So the idea is that I will help young people like the youth and women and connect them to mentors.
Okay.
So they will have better opportunity. What is the pain point you are dealing with? Everything is painful. A pain point. I guess money, that's why I'm here. Because I'm trying to like look for funding, how to do the model of the the business, how it I'm learning everything right now.
Good.
If you would get one thing to help you right now,
besides
knowledge.
Knowledge, okay, great, okay, perfect. I love it. There's plenty of events that I know around Austin that are geared towards what you're looking for. So yes, perfect. In the back.
Hi, my name is Elias. I'm from a global company called Data Driven. Born in Europe originally. I'm building a CRM, for lack of a better word right now, for people who do AI native vibe coding. It's really a sales tool. It's a persuasion sales tool for highly personalized sales. So what I do, it's a new kind of software. I've seen people do similar things, but nothing like that. It's you paste your stuff into Claude code, and it generates a lead page for you, a card that prepares you for a call, and you just walk through the list of challenger questions. So because I'm doing it as an MCP server, you can build whatever you want on top of it. If you want to build your whole rest of the CRM, that's right there.
Right.
But it's also an affiliate program, so to be able to sell it to other companies or small companies or large companies, and to maintain those contracts, you then get residuals from that. It's called Data Coach CRM, and it's early days, but it works.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. Scott?
Hello, my name is Scott Thompson. I'm a product designer. I've been doing design here in Austin for a very long time, and I work hourly. And that's how I've always been, and that's how I've done it. So I'm interested in pricing and what's the latest and greatest. And
all right, awesome. All right, next.
Hi, I'm B. I recently graduated from a program at UT, be certified in AI software engineering.
All right.
I think my biggest challenge right now is how do you get an MVP? How do you test the MVP if you don't have a social media following?
Okay, that is a little hard because if you've done my social media class, the one thing I harp on everybody is build an audience, right? Like, I can't tell you how many people don't listen to me about that, and it bites you in the ass, right? Because if you don't have an audience, you are building for what then, right? Because your audience is there to support you, right? That 13-year-old right now who's building his audience in his room, who live streams every night, who posts on social media, who does all that stuff, by the time they're 18, 20 years old, and they're like, guys, I just launched a merch line, I just did this, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna buy your stuff. Why? Because they grew up with you, they support you, they're there for you, right? They wanna see your content, but how many 45-year-olds listen to that? None of them. 25-year-olds understand it, they just don't like doing it, right? So when they watch TikTok, they're just like, cringe.
Accurate. Pretty accurate.
Right? I'm very familiar with this world, right? Because I've watched the people who are doing it, and then I see the other side of it, which is just like, it's jealousy. That's just pure what it is. It's just jealousy. It's just like, that kid just made $1 million, and it's only 2 o'clock, right? It's only because they built that audience. So going back to what she said back there, if you don't have a following, you can build all day long, but you need to use AI to build that following with you, right? What is the popular thing right now that they say when you build, what should you do? Build in public. What does that mean for those who are above 30? That means you turn on your camera, you live stream what you're doing to an audience of 0, and you keep doing it every single day. Right? And that audience number will keep growing and growing and growing because they're watching you build in public. Hey, this is what productivity looks like. This is what it takes to build an AI agent. And right now, you're gonna get frustrated because you're gonna do it for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and you're like, I'm at 100 followers, nobody cares, this is pointless, I need a job, right? And guess what's gonna happen? The algorithm needs to know who you are, what you're doing, and it needs to be consistent. So if you come on 7 o'clock every night, and it knows you're building this product, guess what it's gonna do on month 5 and 6? This guy built AI products, this audience is looking for AI products, it finally knows how to bring them together. Now you go from 100 to 2,000 to 5,000 to 10,000. That's how the algorithms work, right? You want the big money algorithm? Go to YouTube, right? Its job is to make sure that if you're bringing eyeballs to the screen, it benefits their advertisers. That's the business model, right? Which is the best algorithm out there? TikTok. You want to grow fast? Get on TikTok, live stream every day, and build your audience. There's a girl on 2nd Street, and it's by the Butterfly Bridge. I don't know if you've ever seen that Italian restaurant over there. Go there tomorrow night. Oh, sorry, you're gonna be at the 8 hour. Go any night besides that. You will see a girl over there. She sets up a stand in front of the Italian restaurant, and she live streams every night playing the violin. Why does she do that? She makes money. She makes good money. Why does she do that? Because she's building her audience. And the background that she has is this very nice, sophisticated Italian restaurant. And it's in Austin, Texas. And I can't tell you how prestigious of a name that is when you're in social media. Like, you're in Austin? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like, what part of town are you in? What are you building? What are you doing? I was just there last week. All this stuff. There was an influencer I saw in East Austin. He was driving around in the back of a pickup truck. He set it up to where in the back he had lighting, he had 2 cameras, and he was just talking about random stuff, right? Did it matter what he was talking about? No, because you're watching the live stream because he's driving around East Austin and it just looks cool. You're just seeing everything that Austin is about, and that is just being cool, right? So building to your audience, get that live stream going, get your Twitch going, get your YouTube streaming going, and build and say, today I'm gonna show you how to build this, and guess what? It's gonna get 0 views, and that's okay. But you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna go to your history of all the live streams you've done, and people can see you're building. So instead of a paper resume, they're gonna go and say, hey, you built that cool tool, we need that, are you looking for a job? Next.
My name is Quentin Lucas, originally from Houston, moved to Austin about a year ago from Denver. Recently just launched my own platform. It's a film investment platform, helps democratize funding for filmmakers and creates a more streamlined ROI for investors. This is uncharted territory for me, so that's the biggest pain point. Kind of learning as I'm going and just trying to be a sponge, soak up as much information as I can.
Bro, where are you right now? Where are you supposed to be right now?
Right here?
No.
No?
I mean, what yes, you're in the right, sort of in the right place. But do you know what's going on in Austin right now?
Tech Week?
That was last week.
Film
Awesome.
festival.
Oh,
Awesome
Film Fest,
Film
Awesome
Fest.
Film Fest, yeah.
Have you been going to the parties?
No.
What?
Again.
That's your audience.
Yeah, I know.
Go to the parties. Hey, what's the problem you're dealing with? Let me go to that.
Yep.
Let me go in and figure out what problem you're doing and build to that. You got all these filmmakers all over Austin right now. I went to the party last week. I went to a couple this weekend. I met so many people from AFI. I met so many people from NYU Film, from New York, California, from Miami. Talked to them, cool projects, all this stuff. Yeah, still a hard business when I was in it. But you need to go hang out with people that you're building to. Right? Nobody here is a filmmaker. Right? And if they're not a filmmaker, you have no idea what problems they're doing. And I can tell you this, it's very different now. You know?
Good to know.
Go find a party tonight. There's a lot. Are you part of Austin Film Society?
No.
That's where you need to hang out.
Okay.
Do you know who started that?
I do not.
Richard Linklater. And he lives out in Bastrop.
Okay.
Go hang out. Alright, guy in the back right there that walked in.
My name's Clay. Also definitely uncharted territory for me here.
Okay.
Just really trying to get more involved in the entrepreneurial world around Austin. I've been here 2.5 years, but been with the startup for about 9 months now, and we're kind of in a big pivot moment. So just kind of found the whole Capital Factory thing, and this was the soonest event I could find.
It's okay, you can say the event, yes.
What's that?
The event.
The event. This is the event I was looking for. So just trying to, again, soak everything up and
Good.
understand what everything's about here.
Perfect. Awesome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Alright, thanks.
Hello everyone, my name is Sonu Yadav. I'm from Nepal, but I have lived in Austin for the last 5 years and in the US for 7 years. Right now I'm looking for jobs, full-time, part-time, temp, contract jobs.
Okay.
And I'm also upskilling.
Alright.
Yeah, if you have any tasks, any workflow, anything that you wanna do, I can automate it.
Awesome.
Or I can build AI agent for it.
Good, okay.
So that's my specialty, AI and machine learning and data science, software engineering, vibe coding, prompt engineering.
Okay, awesome.
Pain point is life. And if I would get one thing to help me right now, good paying job would be nice. Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. Alright, well, welcome. Thank you. Yes, thanks.
Hi, my name is KJ. I am from West Orange, New Jersey.
Alright.
Yes. From home Kyrie Irving, KJ.
Yeah.
Alright, I am working on, actually in regards to this, I'm working on a voice agent, a 24/7 phone receptionist.
Alright.
We just onboarded a chiropractor on Friday.
Nice.
This is basically like phase 1 is, hey, you call in my back pain, 7 out of 10, 3 months. It takes all that data. It's like someone will follow up with you within 1 working day.
Okay.
So that the receptionist can get streamlined. And then after about a week or so of doing that, we're going to put a schedule in, like benefit in, so they can schedule.
Okay.
We're trying to offboard them seamlessly from their old scheduling because he doesn't like it.
Sure.
And so, if you could get help on one thing, right now it's really like, well, when you mentioned how Replit is price increasing, like we made our dashboard that takes the call data onto Replit, like they're charging us money right now, like we're stuck, they're charging us disproportionate money, right? So that's one thing, and then another would really just be talent, like we're looking to make an app that competes with the market leaders, which is M1 and Breezy. Like these phone receptions, they got like 1,000 customers, they're going crazy. So we're really trying to make it more intuitive and make our own brand behind it.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, welcome. Alright.
Alright. Hey everybody, my name is Torian Johnson. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I just moved here about a month ago now. I currently am working on 2 things that feed into one another. So currently I'm working on third place index.
Okay.
For those that don't know, a third place is somewhere outside of your work or your home that you can go and gather. So this coffee shops, churches, recreations, parks are all types of third places.
Okay.
And there's a lot of societal benefit and a lot of societal drawbacks by having them and not having them. And so I'm currently creating an index for that, and also the philosophy is bridging the digital and physical divide. So I'm also working on a social network, true to essence, not a social media platform. And I'm starting specifically with sports, niche to basketball, and then we'll branch out and do other sports to help athletes be able to find facilities, people to play with, and much, much more.
Awesome. Great. Well, thank you. Justin.
My name is Gabriel, originally from Austin, moved away, just came back like 2 months ago. Formerly a consultant, quit my job, moved back home to work on a couple different ideas. The main one that I'm focused on right now is basically automating consulting workflows, mostly focused on less of like data automation, more insight driven. So how do you focus on people and bring out the best in them to transform organizations? Non-technical, so that's been probably the hardest part for any idea that I want to do. Is like I can vibe code something, but that doesn't always like mean a lot. I can spend a lot of time and not really see a lot of ROI out of that either, and then just feeling a little bit helpless of like, how am I going to get this to the next level? I think for me, being in this, is trying to attend more of these types of events, but then also thinking a lot about, once I have my MVP ready, piloting this with real consulting firms that are using this technology, and how do I sell them the value on using something that didn't exist a couple months ago, basically.
Which consulting firm? The big ones, or just?
It's called FTI Consulting. It's like a large restructuring firm.
Northeast?
I was living in New York, Manhattan, and I was in LA. It's global, but yeah, I was everywhere. Mostly focused on like software optimization consulting, so working with like $1 billion+ software companies.
Well, cool. Well, hopefully you learned something.
Yeah, excited.
Hello, I'm Kevin. I have an AI math tutoring app that learns how students do math and then helps them learn math.
Awesome. Any pain points you're dealing with?
The reason I came here today was to learn what more I can do in using AI. I've been making an AI, but I don't use it enough in the various things that I could be using it for to help streamline my own operations, my development of content, and optimizing my day-to-day work.
Alright, well hopefully we show you something new. Alrighty, so one of the things that I kind of want to cover here is that everything is AI, right? And so we're all talking about AI and things like that. And I do want to remind you to support entrepreneurs because AI is turning people into Best Buy. And I have mentioned this many times, so for those who don't know the analogy, how many times have you all gone to Best Buy, looked at a product, and then bought it on Amazon? And AI can do that to you, okay? Because you can sit down with somebody, tell me what you do. Cool, great. I'm gonna ask AI first if it can do it. Be very careful about that because people are doing that now, right? That's what's happened to graphics designers, that's what's happened to copywriters, that's what's happened to a lot of jobs out there, right? Support entrepreneurs, right? Support what they do. Remember, there are people who pay $500,000 and $1 million for mentorships, right? $10,000. If you're not willing to spend $100 on somebody's services and you say, I'll just go use AI, why would they buy your services then? If they can just ask AI. I bring this up because this is an issue that is a problem that people are ignoring until it happens to them, right? Remember, I can look at your business, take AI, and build it like that. So if I can do that, what does that mean about companies, right? When Sam Altman opened the OpenAI store, and he said all these agents are going to be expensive and all this stuff, what did Sam Altman say? The price of an AI agent is going to become $0. Because I can look at your agent, I can have another AI agent look at your agent, tell me what it does, copy it, and now I have it, right? Just remember that part. So, we're going to get into pricing. I will let you know I do have some QR codes that you will scan. I have a sheet that you will use to sort of put in the prompts to follow things. This part will probably take anywhere from like 20 to 30 minutes to build it out, just because I've done this so many times for people, because building the pricing guide for your services will take some time. I will let you know, I think it's around like slide 3 or 4, where you will need to scan the QR code, you will get the document, and then you will see the prompts that you're going to enter, and we will go from there. So who has ever guessed their prices instead of calculating them? A lot, right? You're in a meeting with somebody and they're like, how much is it? And you're like, it's 500 bucks. And it's just, right, that's the first number that comes to mind, right? Many times people underprice because they don't want to lose the client, and then they realize that tarnishes their reputation. So if you frame the problem, solopreneurs often underprice, they mismanage their cash flow, and they fear financial statements just because they figure it's just me, nobody's gonna like pay attention to what I'm doing, it's fine, you know, taxman's not gonna come around, I'm okay, right? But I'm hoping that what you can build tonight is something that you can use for what you're doing. It is gonna take some time, so again, for those who have laptops, it will be a little harder on the phone, but you can still sort of do it. So, the money problem right here is we have struggles. We have people here who are service-based, right? We have people here who are digital products-based. Those who do subscriptions, and those who do physical products. Out of curiosity, who wants another subscription in their life? Raise your hand. Okay? I bring that up because so many people think subscription models is where business is, right? Don't do that, okay? Nobody wants another subscription, so figure something out, right? I can't tell you how many conversations I had during Tech Week where I would meet business owners, so they're coming in, they're like, yeah, right now our subscription model is probably gonna be like $500 a month, and we're gonna start off at the first tier. And I said, who wants another subscription in their life? Nobody. So it doesn't work, and yet business schools keep pushing that. So, physical products, they have a one-time fee, right? Remember the days when I could buy Photoshop one time and use it forever?
You're not that old.
I still have that copy.
Version 3.5.
And in case you haven't seen the lawsuits of what Adobe has done to go to the extent of making sure people are paying, my God, they're ruthless, you know. But digital products, you know, when I show people how to build digital products with AI, it's literally like printing money, right? Like you can go in and just knock out like 1,000 items with digital products, right? Because it's just zeros and ones, right? Service-based, you gotta figure out how you're gonna value your time. There are so many consulting books out there, so many certifications for consulting fees, things like that. You based off of what you think your value is, right? Some people say, oh, my time is $1,000 an hour. Others, it's a retainer fee, right? So you're gonna have to figure out like what works with that. And hopefully tonight when you go through what I'm gonna show you, it helps clear that up, right? A freelancer who's doubled revenue by shifting from hourly to value-based pricing, that is a thing. Like I said, there are people out there who pay $100,000 for mentorship, right? Why would you pay that much? Any idea?
Reputation.
What else?
Relationships.
What else?
Shortcuts.
Yes, it's a shortcut. That person has been through what you're going through, and they're basically going to tell you, here's what you need to do. That's what you're paying for. That's what your mentorship is paying for. If you are having trouble paying $1,000 for a mentor, $10,000 for a mentor, you're going to struggle. Because all they're doing is taking you from 3 to a 5, right? If you're at a 4, they're going to take you to a 5 or 6, right? That's what mentorship does. Is they've been in your shoes before, they've gone through it, you pay the fee, all right? Now, we're in the world of AI. What happens now? I don't need to pay that $100,000. I'll ask AI. Hey, pretend you're so-and-so billionaire and tell me what he would do in this situation. I guarantee you a lot of people are already doing it, right? So, framework part 1, pricing with precision, right? So, define your value drivers, right? Time, expertise, transformation, delivered, benchmarking with AI tools, right? Demo, prompts to generate comparative pricing. Who here has sat down and said, hey, I'm a graphics designer, go out and find mid-level graphics designers in Austin, give me a pricing guide based off of their deliverables, and tell me what I need to know that I don't know. And it can do that. So it comes back to you and says, here's every graphics designer that's public in Austin who's pricing this information here, right? So now you can put that into a template and say, am I near those numbers? If I'm not near those numbers, what am I doing wrong? Yes?
I got an issue with that. So a lot of things you've been talking about with AI devalue expertise. The real experts in this place aren't posting a site with the numbers. The people posting the numbers are the people who just graduated from college and are looking for a job, and they're charging $19 an hour because they want to get something. Sure. It's not going to be a representative sample, which is where you're going to go to the, hey, sell based on value, sell based on a project instead of per hour. But I see so many of these, I see so much focus on, we're just going to copy the appearance of something that is based on decades of experience and work.
Right.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that.
Okay. So if I'm a graphics designer and I'm 18 years old, right, and I want to be a graphics designer, I don't have decades of experience, right? But I'm going to compete against the people who do.
You can go and compare yourself with those, you know, those prices that you see online, yeah.
Right. But if I've spent my teen years playing with Photoshop and working with Dolly and working with Midjourney, do I need to now spend my time learning Photoshop? Because what is Photoshop doing now? They have Firefly, right? Why do they have Firefly? Because Adobe realized if they don't innovate, they're going to fall behind. So that 18-year-old is never going to know what taking a Photoshop class is like because it's right there, right? So if I go in and say, hey, I can build everything you need right there for you, here's my pricing package, right?
And that's what it is how do you help clients get what they need? And I would say that there's no 18-year-old out there who really has the life experience.
Oh no, they're never going to have life experience, but they're just going to have the grit. They're going to have the time to sit down and learn this versus an adult who doesn't have time.
And that's why you hire an 18-year-old for this stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, like, if it's the case that you're going to hire an 18-year-old because, like, hey, your prices are cheaper than the guy who's 25 or 35 or 40, I'll go with that.
And you'll work 90 hours a week.
But that's the trade-off, right? Because you do have people who are very young and they come in like, hey, I will do all your YouTube setup for you, right? Or I will make all your YouTube videos for you. Would you rather pay somebody who's 45 years old to do YouTube for you, or would you rather pay a 17-year-old to do YouTube
No
for
question. The 45-year-old doesn't know what to do. He doesn't want to turn on his camera.
Welcome to my world.
You're right. Exactly.
So the idea here is, this works for all kinds of industries, right? You can go in and have AI scrape all kinds of information. We have so many AI tools now that can go and grab data. I'm pretty sure many of you will be so surprised that you can use AI tools to grab satellite data, right? And scrape it, throw it into a spreadsheet, and then do what with it? Turn it into a nice package, sell it, and done, right? Now you can tailor it by business type, right? Just like I've said before, we have service-based businesses, right? Consultants, you know? We have digital products, you know, templates, stickers, t-shirts, things like that. Subscriptions, right? Who here has made an app and said, hey, it's free, just to get the people to come in and test to see what's going on, right? And then we have physical products, right? I can now build physical products with AI, connect that to manufacturers who make those products, run the whole logistics system, and I did all that while watching Love Island episode. Right? Do I need an MBA? No. Thank God. Right? But it moves fast because now I know that I'm not the only one that can do that. If I know I'm not the only one that's doing that, and there's other people who've already figured it out, guess what you're competing against? Right? Alright, so cash flow that doesn't leak. This is something important, right? Cash flow is literally like oil to a car. You need it to stay alive. And it doesn't mean it's always profit, right? It just keeps you going and it gets you to the next part. AI assisted cash flow forecasting. So we're going to get into this part right here. It's going to be probably the next slide. And we're going to have like a monthly inflow outflow buffer calculations. And we're going to try to find a solopreneur who avoids burnout by shifting to recurring revenue. Can anybody here give me an idea for like a digital product that I could sell, make it recurring, have AI kind of automate it, and push it out based off of interest? Anybody want to kind of give me an example?
24/7 phone agent that answers the phone revenue.
How about digital products?
Digital?
Yeah, digital products.
It is digital.
Right, I get that. But A digital product is based off of, right, trends and interests, right? So if I run a store based off trends and interests and it's all digital products, what is my store doing?
It's always updated.
It's always changing, right? It's always changing based off of what people are searching for, right? People are doing that right now, right? It's not like I just made that up, right? People are going out there and they have Shopify stores that are dynamic, right? Their stores change based off of what is current in trends, right? This isn't new. This has been going on for a while now. So if that is the case, who doesn't know that, right? And if you don't know that's happening, then how are you staying relevant with digital products, right? So let's say I'm a consultant, right? You okay?
Yes.
All right. Let's say I'm a consultant and I sell templates for Excel, right? If you've seen my class before, I showed a lady who basically sells custom Excel templates. And what is an example of an Excel template that's custom for business owners? Right? Startup costs, right? Expense reports, things like that, right? Back in the day, you had to know your stuff, right? You had to be an accountant, CPA to build these spreadsheets. What do you need to know now?
How to use it.
How to use AI, right? Do I need to be an accountant? No. What I need to know is how does a spreadsheet in Excel work for expenses for a consulting firm, right? Or for a math tutor, right? AI can go in and build one for you. And I can sell that on a Shopify store as a digital product and say, hey, here's all your templates you need for education-related expenses, right? How long would something like that take now? Again, it's an evening, an afternoon, right? And you can build how many of those with AI? Unlimited, right? You can build as many as you want. And in fact, you can build a Shopify store, and I've seen this before already, where people can go in and say, here's what I need. AI goes in and builds it. The product shows up, now I purchase it. I know that sounds weird to hear that. Does anybody have any comment about that?
I'm curious about the trend in dynamic pricing you're talking about. It's so interesting too.
Okay.
So like, what would like a sales funnel look like, or like marketing like?
The sales funnel basically is it's going to Twitter, it's going to Blue Sky, it's going to like what people are searching on YouTube, and it's looking at what people are typing in, right? And it's adjusting according to that.
So the whole shop could change from month to month?
Or week
Hour to hour.
or day to day, or hour to hour, right?
This is all transactional sales. This is not long-term relationship. This is not like quality-based or anything where I need to have a relationship with someone, because for that I'm gonna go for a person.
Right.
And for transactional, it's all gonna go away.
So again, it goes back to the young entrepreneurs who are trying to cash out, right? They want to cash out because they just want money in the bank, and then that's it, right? For those who have been in business for a long time, the idea behind business is create value, create something that's long-term that people want, right? For young entrepreneurs, it's turned into a situation of, I just want to cash out. I want the nice car, I want the nice house, I want something, and if people are going to give me a $5 million check for this business, great, cool, here it is. I'm going to go build another one, right? They're not looking at long-term value, they want to cash out, right? So building a store that's dynamic is all about trends, right? So if I can go in and build the trends, I can build a pricing model that's based off of a forecast system that AI has built and price it accordingly, right? Does that take a lot of work to do? Yeah, it does. It takes a lot of time to set up, but once you do it, guess what happens? It runs itself, right? Either somebody's gonna come in and buy out your whole operation, or you're just gonna keep building until you make $1 million, right? And that's what kids are doing, you know? I watch it every day on YouTube, I watch it every day on TikTok, just because it moves so fast, right? So in your business right there, the last question I have is, what's one expense you could automate or cut out completely that you have right now, right? It's dynamic. Feel free to jump in anytime. Or if everybody's still thinking, let's keep going. All right, so yeah.
People.
Okay. And people are, and it's happening today, right? So this now goes back to the issue of what this person in the back said, I'm looking for a job, right? Companies right now are being squeezed because of what's happening in the economy. So what's that encouraging them to do?
Downsize.
Downsize, but what else?
Automate.
Automate. It's forcing companies to now look at AI and say, we have to use it. We have to start incorporating AI into this if we want to stay alive, right? And don't worry, you don't have to like take it. I'm gonna send you a QR code in a minute. And so, because of that, companies are being forced to use AI in ways that they did not think about. So that means less people are being hired now, right? So a situation is happening to where we don't need as many people anymore. We still need coders, we still need writers, we still need, I was gonna say English majors, but we still need architects, right? But the thing is, we just don't need as many, right? So, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to give you this image right here. You can scan this. That should link you to the document. And we are going to start with this stuff. I would like for you to go to the bottom of the document, okay? And you should see pricing guide prompt right here, okay? Oops, that's too big. There it is. All right. If you want to take this, we're going to slowly start to build this with AI, and I'm going to show you an example of what it should eventually look like, right? Did everybody get the document?
We go back to the
Yes. All right. So the idea behind this is that you're going to answer some questions, okay? I'm going to bring up this one right here. I'm going to plug it in. For those who are using Copilot, you do get access to GPT-5 for free. So. And what I want you to do is plug it in, put in your business or service, and I want you to follow the questions that it gives you. Wait, did you get the code?
I did.
Okay, let me bring it up.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Okay. You should get access to a document, and then that document has a prompt at the bottom. Okay?
Got it, thank you.
Yep. And I want you to plug that in to AI, and I want you to change the part that says insert your business type there, okay? For me, I'm gonna put somebody who makes online courses for solopreneurs, okay? So we're gonna go through, and we're going to see how it's going to start building out a pricing guide, and it wants to start clarifying what exactly you do, okay? You should get clarifying questions in your response. And use this time right now to start answering these questions. That's what this whole session is about, okay? So I'm gonna go through, and I'm going to copy this. I'm gonna go throw it into a notepad, all right? And I'm going to slowly start to look at this. All right, just like you, these are the first time that I'm seeing these questions for myself. You should also have custom questions for your business, okay? And I want you to slowly start doing that because it's gonna build your framework for what you're doing tonight, all right? you have any questions, please let me know.
else? What are we doing?
So right now you're answering questions that I gave you. So if you look at my answers right here, right? So it gave me clarifying questions, right? And what I did was I answered all my questions and then I gave it back.
I don't see any of that. I have a companion worksheet, building your pricing guide with AI.
So if you go down.
Did you go down to the very bottom?
I went down to the very bottom, I didn't see anything.
Oh, you go up a little bit.
Did you
It's
see
like
the one?
right above that, so.
Did you see that big
Yeah,
font
right
right there?
The
Where's
pricing
it come
guide.
from?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so just copy that and put it in ChatGPT.
Okay.
And then in the
And then
brackets,
yeah.
in the brackets, put what you do.
Yes. About for me, can you put the link to this back up real quick so I can jump in?
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. And then you should see at the bottom of that document a paragraph. That's the one you're going to use. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
And in the brackets, just put what you do. Yes.
I have a question. You said MRR is not a good idea. So how would you position a SaaS product?
I mean, like, for SaaS, I would say you could do like pricing on demand, right? So if it's an enterprise level, then you can say based off of, let's say, X number of employees, then we charge you on demand pricing for however many tokens you use, right? If it's an AI product, right? If it's an AI SaaS product, then you charge based off of token usage on the number of employees in the company, right? You can do something like that. The problem that you're going to run into is you're going to be forced to go into a subscription model because most people think a subscription model for SaaS is how you work it, right? I've seen people pivot away and do on-demand pricing. So if they have like 30 employees in the company, they'll charge per head and just keep it at that, you know, and just be like, hey, for this, you only use this much per week, that's what we charge you for.
What if only like 2 people use it per company?
If it's not sustainable for you to maintain, then you probably have to change your marketing strategy to keep it going. Because again, it's all about, can you afford a company with 2 employees at that level that they use it at, right? If your maintenance cost is just too high for that,
No, I meant like 2 people, like for example, like a small amount of people in each company would use it. Like for example, for the sales manager of, you know, like the regional sales manager, for example.
Right. If it's a large enough company, then you might be able to just do like a, here's where we start at then, for what we're gonna do for on-demand pricing, right? It could be something like that, right? I would definitely have AI go in and be like, hey, how would I do on-demand pricing for enterprise level customers? Try that and see what it tells you. Sure. For some people who are doing this, it's probably a shock to find out what they should be charging. So this is my layout. We'll get into that when everybody's kind of finished, but this is sort of that moment of realizing what you should be charging and what your competitors are charging. give you better results?
A little confusing. So, actually, it was quite a lengthy answer. But basically, it says, obviously customized, usage-based, and value anchored. So it's giving you, or it gave me base platform access plus data volume lookups and anyways, a modular pricing grid basically.
Okay.
So you have column A your core, column B your add-ons, and then column C like estimated monthly range. So basically it's telling me to ask the clients to do like a your own plan or something based on usage.
So when you do stuff like that, if you've ever seen companies that say fill out this profile to understand what you need, that's how they're using that information to determine what pricing plan you go into. That's what they're doing.
But like you present it in that way where you're asking the client, okay, like if you do an X amount of stuff, you would qualify for a certain tier. And then here are the other add-ons. If you want to do more, and you hit this like tier, then you would pay this much. But wouldn't that like give them too many like choices? And then at that point, they'll be like, you make a decision for me.
Right. So that's why most companies, what I've learned is they will keep it at a 3-tier minimum. Right. You don't want to go too far. This is why like Sam Altman has kept like OpenAI's pricing tier system at 3 columns, right? You have free, the mid-tier, and the pro, right? Too many options, you have paralysis, right? So for you, you could probably do the same thing when it says like beginner level or like, you know, mid-tier options, and this would be like premium services, right? And then they would fall into one of those areas, you know? And you can even say like, hey, we have a 1-month trial program to determine where you fit. And sometimes that gauges their actual usage, right? And you can come back and say, hey, based off of your usage, we recommend this tier for you. You know? Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Or any other people realizing what they should be charging? And feel free to comment or ask a question or I will start to probably, do y'all need like a couple more minutes? Okay, alright, a couple minutes, alright. And then I will break down how I did mine for you on the fly.
What's the event that's tomorrow?
It's the AITX meetup that happens every 4th Tuesday at 5:30 on the 5th floor.
Yeah, is that like informational or is that networking?
It's networking, and you see 4 or 5 demos from AI companies that are starting off. Yeah. And yes, there's food and drinks.
That was 5th floor?
That's 5th floor. Yes.
5:30 until when?
About 7:30. 5th floor. Yeah. And if you need lunch, I know another big event. So.
What's the lunch event?
It's put on by a big law firm in Austin, and they do the speaker series, right? So they run like a 9-week speaker program. So every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, they have a lunch event. So it's basically a legal event for entrepreneurs to understand all the legal aspects of their business.
Is this monthly?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you've been going already, then you're probably already get the emails. So.
You said that's tomorrow also?
Yeah, that's tomorrow at 12. I mean, if you want free food every day, I got the list, don't worry.
That's a good engineering resource right there. You know, he knows where all the food is. Okay, where am I going? Here.
I actually have a breakfast event in the morning.
Oh, 4th meal. I mean, is there a midnight?
You know what's funny is like many people want me to start that newsletter so bad. It's like help me find freefood.com, right? So, you can draw me in any city and I can find you free food. Oh, yes. And if you need to come closer, please, by all means, there are chairs up here if you want to come closer for the font size and all this stuff. Don't be afraid, it's okay, you know. I mean, you're here to learn, right? You know, don't strain your eyes and get another doctor's appointment. Daniel, I think they're gonna come into your side. Yeah. Alright, so hopefully everybody's kind of already toyed with their pricing guides. Yeah, please move up if you want to, there's plenty of chairs up here. So I'm gonna go over kind of my pricing guide and what I did, and how I kind of built everything out, okay? Alright. So basically, my clarifying question, the reason why I say do this is because when AI answers you, it has to assess all the information out there, right? If it only has 6 seconds to respond, it's going to make mistakes, right? If you want to eliminate hallucinations, limit the scope that it's searching in, right? So this is why I said I'm trying to price based off of online education courses. It's not searching everywhere now. It knows, okay, my scope is limited. So it asks me questions like, what type of online courses are you currently selling? Do you also offer add-ons? How long does it typically take to make, create, and deliver a course, right? It needs to know this stuff. How price sensitive do you feel your audience is right now, okay? What revenue targets do you want to hit in the next 6 months? And beyond revenue, what milestones matter the most? So based off of this, I went through, answered a couple of questions, and it came back with this response. Here's a short version. Competitors in the solopreneur online course space typically charge between $97 and $500 for a self-paced course, between $500 and $2,000 for premium programs with live elements, and $2,000 for mastermind or high-touch offers, right? And I went out and did all that research for me. So I said I want a monthly goal of 20K a month for courses, and I said it takes about 1 weekend to build 1 course, okay? So based off of this, it's looked at the comparative pricing landscape and says, for self-paced courses, most solopreneur courses are priced between $97 and $297 for entry-level, skill-specific courses, right? For hybrid, live supported courses, it says this includes coaching, live Q&A, community access, between $500 and $1,500, right? And then for masterminds and more, between $2,000 and $10,000. Anybody want to tell me how much Eamon Ghazi charges for a mastermind?
100,000?
What?
800,000?
Yes, that's right, 100,000. And it sells out every time. So, translating to your business, what's that?
What course is that?
That's a mastermind that Eamon Ghazi puts on, and he has this like big conferencing that he does, and every time he puts out tickets, they sell out like crazy. Yeah. So what does that mean, translating to your business, right? Given your goals and offers and everything like that, here's what I recommend you should price your stuff at, right? So I can go in, and based on my goal of trying to hit 20K a month, here's what I should be doing for my entry-level courses, and premium hybrid courses, which means that it's not only a course, but it's also live streamed with Q&A, so it's a private environment, right? And mastermind and in-person events between $2,500 a seat. So revenue breaks down to, I need to create 40 self-paced courses at around $250 each, right? I need to make about 10 hybrid courses at about $700 each. And I need to make 1 mastermind seat at around $3,000 a piece, which comes out to about 20K a month, okay? And next up for pricing, guys, hey, this is what else you should include. So I said, cool, create me a little like breakdown strategy, right? Here's my pricing guide that put everything together. And so it went further and says, for example, revenues, here's what self-paced courses should bring in, here's what your hybrid courses should bring in, and here's what your mastermind seats should start to bring in. Yep. So based off of that, it gives me a clear breakdown of my tiers, right? So I said, great, create me a little pricing guide that I can grade, and it put together this. So you can go in and create a little pricing guide as yourself. If you have the paid like Dolly or Midjourney, you can create something as well. As you can see, this probably would have taken, before AI, a while to put together. Yeah. Okay? But knowing what you're supposed to look for, it can go in and create all kinds of mock-ups for you. So based off of what I just showed you, who here would like to share what you discovered about your pricing guide? Don't be shy.
I had a quick question about Copilot.
Sure.
Have you found that to be more effective, or doesn't hallucinate maybe as much as ChatGPT or?
So because I limit the scope that it's searching in, I don't really deal with hallucinations, right? Like I'm not asking it to search everything, I just want it to only search based off of certain things. So when I use it, I always switch to ChatGPT 5, and then I go straight to, yeah, I'm working on this project right here, I only wanted to cover this, right? So I don't really have a lot of hallucination issues, right? And the nice thing I like about it is I get free image generations off of it, you know?
That's cool.
So I don't have to pay for that stuff.
What do you do to reduce hallucinations?
You limit the scope, right? So like I'm working on a PowerPoint presentation for this audience, right? So it knows that it's only going to generate that information, right? It's not looking for everything. So that's kind of why I like using it, because one, I can do all kinds of stuff with it, and it's pretty useful. So anybody want to share what they've discovered about their business? They're not charging enough? Did you discover? Really? By how much? 1,000? 100?
Well, I'm just a retailer, right? So my family, I do online retail for friends.
Okay.
Aftermarket wheels.
Yeah.
And based on just the information that ChatGPT gave me, like the problem is that there's a map pricing. Right?
Yeah.
And it's just not being honored. So people are just avoiding that.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Anybody else want to share something that they discovered? Right. Don't be shy. It's okay. Maybe you're finding out that you need to charge $1,000 more. Maybe you need to create more ebooks with your services, right? So I will let you know that in the other document on the top part right here, I did give you some prompts based off of the different parts, right? So people who are service-based, I gave you a simple prompt based off of that. The prompt that I gave you is more robust because it's asking you to clarify a lot more information, right? I would suggest always going in and saying, as for like, let's say service-based, act as a pricing strategist. I'm a type of freelancer offering, let's say automation services, right? My costs are this much a month, which is basically what you're getting charged per month for ChatGPT. And my target income is this. I would recommend adding my target monthly income is this, right? And then suggest 3 pricing models, either hourly, project-based, or retainer, with the pros and cons and recommended ranges. Please ask me a couple of questions that I should be aware of to help clarify these pricing guides, right? That's how I would sort of structure that little prompt, so that way it has a limited scope, and it knows that this is what you're doing as a service provider, right? And it's the same for like digital products, same for subscription models, and the same for like physical products, right? So this helps you narrow down and build out your whole thing. I will tell you, when I first did this, I was doing this for 3 different industries. It actually takes you about an hour and a half to build out a really good pricing guide, because it's going to go through more stuff, right? So. Alright. Let's see if it goes back. Alright. Good. There we go. Alright. Oops. Okay. So yeah, we covered these right here. And again, please, if you want to copy that document that you got, copy it, save it to your cloud device if you like. Go home, play with it, right? You may discover that you want to add on something else to your business, right? All these prompts right here are in the document as well, so you can have these to use. But let's get into financial statements, right? So this right here, I would recommend if somebody wants to plug this into your ChatGPT real quick, or for those who are more extravagant perplexity, and play around with balance sheets, income statements, right? So I gave it a simple AI prompt that says, explain this financial statement like I'm a 10-year-old as a solopreneur. Yes?
I have actually done this.
Okay, what did you find?
AI, I used ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Coin. AI is not, the chatbots were not very accurate in analyzing the financial statements.
So right now what we're doing is we're not plugging in financial statements. As a solopreneur, you want to understand what do I need to know about a balance sheet, income statement as a solopreneur, right? I'm not giving it any Excel spreadsheets right now. I just need to know what my relationship is to this, right? Most solopreneurs don't think about this stuff because they're just trying to get clients, they're trying to bring in revenue, but they don't realize there's 3 documents they need to be paying attention to, right? So as a solopreneur, I need to know, when do I use a balance sheet? When am I going to use an income statement? And when am I going to use a cash flow statement, right? And how does that all work together, right? So as you're building this out, you're going to go back and say, well, how do I get started for a balance sheet as a service provider solopreneur, right?
Why a 10-year-old? Isn't the explanation gonna get dumbed down?
Do you want a graduate level explanation? Who wants a graduate level explanation?
No, it doesn't, but maybe like a high school level.
Right, you start with the 10-year-old thing. I mean, you can if you want the high school explanation, right? But what's surprising about this is that most people just want the 10-year-old explanation because they just want to get straight to the point, right? What's crazy is that most 10-year-olds, their information is so like simplified. Whereas when you get to graduate school, you're just like, just make it a 10-year-old explanation. Why does it need to be a research paper, right?
Well, we need it.
Right? And at the same time, like, you write these complicated research papers, but nobody reads, right? But you know, the people who are really smart about the research papers that are being made, you know what they're doing with them? They're going to Sora and say, make this a movie. They're going to Sora and they're saying, turn this into a movie, and do you know what's happening? They're getting money for their research. Because they're the creative ones. Because they're going back and saying, this is actually what I'm trying to accomplish. That 30-page nonsense dribble research paper that probably took you a year to do is now a 1-minute Sora video that now all these people are like, how much do you need? That's being creative, right? Yes.
So, in most cases, financial statements and these are sensitive information, right? Do you think it's okay to feed this into an AI?
I would say, as you're starting out, that's not sensitive information, right? Because you don't
let's
have.
say I'm a consultant. I consult for a startup. Like, let's say I'm helping them with fundraising and stuff, and I have their P&L, their statements so that I need to analyze. And is it so? If I am feeding that into AI,
So if you're using, okay, so I thought the question was from your point of view, not the client's, right?
Got it.
That's why, like, from a client's point of view, you have to ask, is it okay? If it's not, then I would recommend building your own private model, which does take some effort, right? Then you can feed it into that model and run all you want, right? But as a personal solopreneur, most of your data is very limited, right? So you're going to play with it and ask AI, what should my numbers start to look like in 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now, right? If you're analyzing clients' data, yeah, you definitely want to have something in your contract that states we use AI models to do your work, right? If they're not okay with that, it's totally understandable, right? So putting it all together, kind of like pricing, cash flow, and statements. Again, it's gonna take some time to really flesh out your pricing guide. Don't think that tonight is the final thing, because you're gonna still go back and do some more research, right? Hey, maybe I wanna change this. Maybe I realize that my numbers are not where they should be, right? And it's gonna take some time. Whenever I do a new pricing guide, I always expect to do like a 2-hour session and go through this and build, right? Because it does take some time right there. But again, your first pillar is pricing with precision, right? You can go out now and scrape all kinds of information, and you can say, hey, price based off of just Texas, right? So it's gonna go out and grab more information. Or price based off of just Austin. It can go out and grab that information for you, right? I would kind of be hesitant to say go do like deep research, because you don't need to go that far unless you want to have like a 20-page report, right? Unless you're going to sell that information, right? Otherwise, use some AI prompts, find who your competitors are, and see if you can go out and find some pricing guides. What's another way to find what the comparative pricing guides are if it doesn't have it listed on the site? Any ideas? Yes? What else? Have AI point to the reviews. of your competitor. Because a lot of times your competitors will have reviews that people will list their pricing at. Hey, I had to call many times to get their pricing, here's what they actually charge. And have AI point it to the reviews. Be like, hey, go find if there's any pricing information listed in reviews and let me know, right? And then go back and start applying that to your different business types. You know, so if you're a service-based, digital, and then create your pricing guide. Now, do you need to put your pricing guide on your website? That's up to you, right? Some companies don't even have that. They just say, hey, click this number for a consultation, right? That should already tell you they're expensive. They're not going to list their pricing. That already tells you they're expensive. Right?
They don't want to scare you off.
Right, exactly, right? They want to get you into that hook so that the sales team can do their job, get you into the funnel, right? So again, pricing with precision. 2, your cash flow doesn't, leak, so that way you look at like what's coming in, what's going out, right? Have AI kind of like run through some models for your pricing guide, and then get you started, right? If I'm running my online courses like that I put up there, right? I can go in and say, hey, forecast my inflows and my outflows based off of the number of courses that I put out next week and the week after that, based off of teachable.com, right? It can go into teachable.com, look at all the information that people are doing, and come back with a forecast expectation, right? And you can have like, hey, I want to throw this into a table, tell me what I need to do to reach these numbers, right? What do you think the output of that response is supposed to be? Hey, tomorrow morning, here's 10 things you need to do to reach that, right? A lot of times, you'll be surprised how many people wake up and they're like, what do I need to do today? And they sit down and they watch an episode of SpongeBob, and they turn around and they're like, I should probably start working. Okay? And they're like, okay, it's 10 o'clock. I should probably do something. Send out a couple of emails. But AI can now structure your day. It can be like, hey, I want in 6 months to be doing this, break everything down per month, break everything down per week, and give me my goals per Fridays, right? And it can do all that for you, right? Now you have a sense of just like what that 17-year-old is doing on social media. They're going in with AI and saying, how do I get to this number, right? But their viewpoint is not that. They're trying to be like, every week I want to get 1,000 new subscribers. What do I need to do? Tell me every day what I need to do, right? And it breaks it down per day. So your pillar 3 is basically financial statements made simple. As a solopreneur, they're not going to be complicated in the beginning. Trust me, right? And if you can ramp up what you're doing, guess what you can afford? An accountant. You can afford that CPA, right? And if you're building in public, guess what's going to happen? You're going to find an accountant watching you and go, hey, can I help you? Because they like what you're doing and they support you, right? And just use AI to simplify things. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to people who are just like, I have a lawyer and he gives me all these documents. I'm like, why are you complaining? Just run it through AI and just have it simplified, right? But the best thing I like about it is to spot trends that you're not paying attention to, right? The cool thing about AI is that I can go to AI right now and be like, tell me a trend that's happening in Austin right now that I'm not aware of, that I can turn into a business, right? And it can go out and find that information and tell me, hey, here's everything happening right now at, what, 8 o'clock, 7:30? That I can turn into a business, right? And give me a 6-month forecasting system that I can build around that, right? So that's what's really cool about it. So when I use it, it's all kinds of magic and fun stuff. But using these 3 pillars, you can kind of start to build a lot of that stuff, right? Any questions from there? Yes?
Is it like, can you get all of these prompts or something? Like, do you have it anywhere on the drive?
No, I gave you the document. That's what you scanned, that QR code. So you have all those documents, right? Yeah, you have the prompts that you can use. Like I said, for each one that you want to try, just go back and say, hey, can you clarify some questions and ask me like how to build up this, right? Keep playing with those prompts and see what you can come up with it, right? That way, instead of emailing all of y'all now have it, right? You can use it, save it, do whatever you want with it. But trust me, like, it will help you in understanding your pricing. And when you realize, like, okay, how do I get to premium level? How do I get to the next level, right? There are consultants that charge how much an hour?
Yeah, like 500 to 5,000, like it just depends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if I'm McKinsey, what is it per hour? Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, right? And they're okay with that, you know? But I have met a lot of people out there who, you know, they don't do their homework, right? I can tell you when I go speak at MBA classes and I say, tell me who here in this room has done your pricing for your services or your knowledge already, right? And many of them will say no. They have no idea how even to start with that, right? I'm saying you're spending a lot of money for an MBA. Tell me what you're worth, right? So, any other comments, questions, complaints, concerns? So quiet all of a sudden. So how can we work together? This is what I do, right? I build out all kinds of tech stacks for people. I help script data, sell it. For some strange reason, people are very confused what a data broker is. Like, that's all I do, right? I grab data, I make it look pretty, and I sell it, right? You can do the same thing, right? If you've ever used Browse AI or Applify or anything like that, they're just data scrapers that are pretty, right? And you can go grab all kinds of stuff, package it, sell it, and people will buy it, right? For example, right now, what kind of data do you think is out there that's just in the air that AI can grab and turn into something? Any ideas? Come on, you gotta think creatively here, right?
Google Maps data.
Okay, what else could you do with Google Maps?
Yeah, you can scrape any business email ID, phone number.
Okay. But what if I just want traffic patterns? What can I do with that data?
Determine where I should place my business.
Right, so if it's Monday night, I can go scrape Google data to find out where the highest concentration of certain types of cars are in Austin, right? What does that tell me? Okay, if I know on Monday night at 8 o'clock, I have a higher concentration of these types of cars here, where should I host an event? Right, they're already there.
How do you get the types of car on Google Maps?
You can go to Waze.
Okay.
Right, you can go into there, right? You'd be surprised like how much the Google Maps API call it is, right? But if you can afford it, grab it, right? And have AI kind of work with it and be like, hey, tell me everything I need to know about traffic patterns in Austin at night to host certain types of events, right? And that will be it, right? That's what I do, right? Surprisingly enough, people don't think like this. Yes, go ahead.
We can also use the data to find traffic, like to develop an app for Uber drivers or Lyft drivers, you know, and
okay. So let's take the data and let's flip it now. How do I make money with it, right? Let's say I don't host events. I just want to make money. I'm a broke college kid. I live in a dorm. I can't even afford food, even though there's free food everywhere. How do I make money with that data?
maybe send it to like Uber or Lyft.
No, they're not invited.
Make an app which gives traffic pattern to Uber drivers.
Okay, you're close, but that's a little harder sell. Who's gonna buy that data? Advertisers, right? Advertisers and data brokers, right? There are large data brokers out there that if you have a good enough package, they will pay that money up front for that data, right? But advertisers want that information, right? Because if I can go to these small advertisers here and be like, hey, every night at X time, I can put this together, I'll sell it to you for that, right? Now many people might be thinking, couldn't they just do that themselves?
We can also sell it to local businesses. So for example, on this highway at this point, there's lots of traffic. So on this billboard, if you put a local business advertisement, you can
That's right. Right, like I can go to local businesses on I-35 and be like, hey, I know how to get your business out there for, you know, wage drivers, right? Based off of traffic patterns and anything like that, at 9 o'clock at night, we can do this, right? So, but yeah, that's kind of what I do, right? But I help people kind of like find ideas that they're not thinking about. Like I ran into this gentleman right here, at a tech summit, we talked about newsletters, and surprisingly enough, many people don't pay attention to newsletters, even though it is a cash cow business, right? So I always have a list of some books that I show, because I want y'all to kind of go home and read, right? So this is an amazing book, The New Automation Mindset, right here, right? This is phenomenal if you are into automation and building workflows, right? It's very in-depth, but it is also viewed at a enterprise level, so. If you have not read this one just came out. Basically, how AI is going to change everything, right? And a lot of the stuff that it kind of covers is art, defense, economics, food, things like that. Very insightful for what it looks at, right? Mastering AI. Who here thinks this is a technical manual, and who here thinks this is not a technical manual? Not, right? This explains to you how AI actually works. It's more of like a history book, but it is very good as to why. All right. I always bring this one here because for some strange reason, people are very bad at selling stuff online. Okay. Go learn like all the tools out there to sell online, and you'd be very surprised that there are a ton of tools to help you sell stuff, right? If your goal here is to sell anything online, it doesn't matter if it's digital, service-based, whatever, go find the tools, right? Because it is a ton of them in there. This one, I just got the book of batch scripting, basically how to batch automation workflows. It is, for those who are technical coders, this is a great book. You probably love this book, but it teaches you how to batch a whole bunch of scripts together and build out workflows. So. And I always like to give away a book in my class. So if anybody can answer one little question, all right? Give me a very creative solution for selling data. Come on, I thought we all had bachelor's degrees.
Like healthcare data?
I needed to be very creative.
Have some sort of, send out little notes and a QR code that says, I want to eat something great for lunch. And then scrape all the data of all the places that can lunch and have specials.
Okay.
And then when somebody says, I want to have lunch, and they know maybe it's a gimmick like for under $8 or something like that, then they scan it and then they get to pick from 4 things.
Okay.
And have that algorithm generated.
Who here thinks that's good? You have something to say. I know you have something to say.
I like looking for glitches in the system. We get paid to solve problems, right?
Yeah.
So I want to establish there's going to be a problem. It's got to be a bona fide.
Okay.
And then I'm going to sell as a workaround on that.
Okay.
So they can do their own research, scare them, a couple of sleepless nights, I get a phone call.
Did you read my article? I feel like you read my article. There was a lady who did that actually, on Indie Hacker, and she went around to cafes and she put up I hunt for bugs. And she started off as a freelancer, and she would go to cafes and just put up her flyers, right? And people would scan the QR code, and they started to discover like there's a demand for that. So she built a website, I think it was Teslio or something, and now it brings in like 7-figure revenues a year, based off of like, but she hires freelance bug hunters. So when you said that, I was like, I feel like you read my article.
Maybe you used AI and you scraped me.
Probably, exactly. See? So yes.
We can also do something like this. We can check the Google reviews of local businesses and small to medium-sized businesses.
Okay.
See the reviews, see what influence they have.
Okay.
And develop solutions like for those problems, especially for B2C.
Sure. Okay. All right. So he wants to scrape Google Map data to find solutions for businesses that are struggling. He wants to do bug hunting, right? Okay. Anybody want to vote on who has the more creative solution?
I mean, I asked ChatGPT to come
You just taught us that, so.
Yes, like AI was just born today. Yes.
So I'm not saying you should do this, but you did say creative. So
Okay.
it's like, it's similar to the flyer idea with the QR code, but basically, some poor schmuck will just get curious and eventually they'll scan it. You could just have something that extracts their cookie data and whatnot you know, this is a little bit malicious, but, you know, I mean, someone will do it just out of curiosity, and just put them up enough places, and soon enough, you'll have a decent throughput.
So, I was talking to some college students the other day, and I said, if you want to get your newsletter out there like really fast, go throw up QR codes all around campus that says, "Don't scan this."
Yeah.
Because they will scan it. Okay. Alright, so we have another contender here. Who do you think the book should go to? Don't scan stuff that you're probably gonna get screwed up. Google reviews, QR codes, or Bug Hunter? So vote. Who should it go to? You can say it.
Bug Hunter.
Everybody agree?
No.
Bug Hunter?
I think that's all QR.
Yeah,
I'd go with the lunch special. I'd use that. I actually know someone that's building something like that.
Yes.
So.
Alrighty. So with that, this is the page for the LinkedIn thing. I put up posts and stuff like that for solopreneurs. So if you want to follow it, you can read some articles. You can go in there and check it out.
Wait, what was the last book? What was the name?
Oh no, you'll be able to take pictures. Don't worry. I'll have it up here. You can come up here and take pictures. But yeah, this goes to the LinkedIn page. I appreciate it. If you follow it, you can see what's going on. I try to post things that are relevant to the solopreneur lifestyle, right? Again, these are people who work from a laptop. They don't necessarily travel, but they're looking for ways to build faster, right? And that's what I put in. So there was a comment that somebody had made recently, and I tried to put out a lot of like playbook options, right? So that way you can go in and be like, how do I get to this? How do I build this? What do I do? And what are people doing, right? Because you'd be surprised how some of these workflows are very short, but they bring in 6 figures right away, right? If you've taken my class before this, some of the most creative entrepreneurs out there are scammers, and that's the stuff I show to people in here. Do you know why I pay attention more to them than what MBA students learn? Any idea?
They know how to pull you in.
They know how to pull you in, right? They're not trying to build a business, they're not trying to raise money. They know how to go to 6 figures in 2 days, and they follow a template, right? And by day 5, 6, they're already shut it down, and they move to the next one, right? And they do it over and over and over, right? Because they're very efficient at what they're doing, right? So they go in, they look at these models, and they say, what do I need to build that's trending, or I can turn into a story? And all of a sudden you realize these people are making 6, 7 figures a week, right? And they're using AI now to automate that stuff super fast, right? Where are we on time? I'll be able to show you a video of that in a minute, but if you have more questions, you can book a call with me. I'll leave this up for like a minute or so. But I will let you know that in the class before this, I showcased a video of old people who are retiring, right? And in the video it shows these people who are like, they've been working for 40 years, 50 years, things like that. And you find out it's all AI generated. People don't exist, they're not real, the products are real, they're just dropships, right? But they're wrapped in a story that's very emotionally driven, right? It's like I'm doing dropshipping, except none of it's real, right? So now I can go in and generate, fabricate stories, drive up 6-figure revenues, and then by the time anybody figures it out, it's all shut down, domain's gone, website's gone, all that stuff, right? Is it a crime? Well, if nothing exists, you can't file charges, you can't really do anything, and that's why it works, right? So, and for most people it'd be like, well, my money was stolen, the product's not real. You can't file any charges because nothing's there anymore, right? So, I appreciate the feedback. Did I help you? Did I not help you? Things like that. This helps me figure out like where I need to improve, right? So any feedback you give me, I would greatly appreciate it. And then the last part, I will show you the video because I know people always love these videos because they're so interesting. Hopefully the sound works, actually. Last time I tried playing it, there was no sound. But, and if you want, that's my LinkedIn, that's my email address, and my next event should be the 24th of November. I know Thanksgiving is around that time, so if nothing changes, that should be the next time I have this class. So, I know they tend to move things around. hopefully you got something from it, but after you have all that stuff, we'll get into the video. Maybe you have a good laugh. Maybe it's new for you. Everybody good? Alright. So, this video right here, what these guys do is they hunt for scammers. There it is. So what his job is to do is to go find scammers, purposely go find them, and he looks for ways of how they do stuff. So I will play this one. Oh, please let there be sound.
Bags. And the story goes that Grace, a kind-hearted elderly woman, has been handcrafting beautiful leather bags for years. But it's the end of an era for Grace, so she's holding her farewell sale.
Grace is offering up to 80% off in her farewell sale. Once they're gone for good. Don't miss out.
I thought, oh, how nice. And then I kept scrolling, but the sponsored ads kept popping up trying to reel me back in. And I thought, maybe I ought to check these out. But then I started to get a little suspicious about this Grace woman. Wait a minute, is she even real? I take her photo over to siteengine.com, which is able to detect whether or not an image is made from AI. And it turns out this picture is. Wait, what? There's no Grace? Who then is making these high-quality handcrafted leather bags? And who are all these people raving about them?
These aren't just bags. They're pieces you keep forever.
Grace and her husband have spent over 34 years perfecting their leather bags.
Imagine carrying a bag that holds 30 years of love, dedication, and craftsmanship.
Okay, something's definitely off with this guy. Nobody gets this emotionally invested in a leather bag. So I'm gonna try to find out who he is. I use a tool called purrs. It's pretty good at scanning faces and uncovering where else they popped up online. And what do you know? I think I found it.
Are you wondering how hair loss can be reversed naturally?
That's our guy. Here he is again.
Save thousands of dollars with Electro LED UFO High Bay Light.
Oh, he's an actor on Fiverr. You can pay this guy to say whatever you want.
I'm a professional spokesperson and actor with decades of experience.
Well, maybe it's just a coincidence that he also happened to buy a bag for his wife and make a testimonial about it. Let's look at another guy who's also in love with these bags.
You know, it reminded me of my grandma. How she put so much love into everything she made.
Oh, how funny. He's also got a Fiverr account.
I have been an actor for 20 years, and I have appeared in many movies, TV shows, and hundreds of TV commercials.
And it turns out that Grace Bags has a YouTube channel where they've uploaded all their testimonials.
This is unlike anything I've ever seen. A bag from Grace's collection is one to cherish for a lifetime.
These are all actors with Fiverr accounts. And the best part, the mastermind behind this channel didn't even bother editing the clips before uploading them.
I stumbled upon the store. I was scrolling through.
Turns out Grace Bags isn't some heartwarming handcrafted leather bag business. It's just someone using AI and hiring actors to produce fake glowing reviews. But what do the real customers get when they order from Grace Bags? Well, the only thing authentic here is their disappointment. These luxury leather bags are actually just cheap vinyl knockoffs made in China. Now this is where things get wild. Suddenly I learned that Susan's Bags is also shutting down. Then Victoria's Bags, Paul Richards, Tanner's Shoes, so many beloved elderly artisans all conveniently having their final sales at the exact same time.
Once they're gone for good.
Once they're gone forever.
Tanner's Shoes is gone forever. Once they're gone, they're gone.
And when I go to their page and select About, then Page Transparency, I can see that these pages are being managed from the Netherlands, Vietnam, and Indonesia. This is so weird, but then I get an ad from Henry's.
Hello there, I'm Henry, and I want to share a bit of my story with you. For over 33 years, I've been crafting watches by hand, and it's
of course you have, Henry.
My life. There's something special about creating a watch that stands the test of time. Something classic and meaningful. Every detail, every movement. I put my heart into each watch, thinking
that is one big mile.
The moments it would witness, and the legacy it would carry forward. But times have changed, and after decades of doing what I love, it's time to close this chapter. I want to spend more time with my family, especially my grandchildren. So with a heavy...
Wait a minute, look at his hand. How's Henry crafting watches with a finger like that? Also, if Henry's been making watches for 33 years, why has his website only been up for a month? And why does Henry look so different in each of these photos? When you look at the page transparency, you can see all the different ads that he has running, and someone has been very busy.
Henry has spent over 33 years crafting watches with a purpose.
When I first got mine, I noticed the difference right away.
And the comments on Facebook are full of people just gushing over Henry and his watches. Well, finally, I caved. I had to check out these watches. So I head on over to the website, and I've got to admit, they look pretty nice. Plus, all these handsome dudes are rocking them. But let's take a screenshot, run a reverse image search, and see just how rare and timeless these masterpieces really are. And what do you know? The exact same watch is selling for 99 cents on AliExpress. But surely they're not the same, right? One is a rare handcrafted work of art, and the other is just some cheap knockoff, right? Right? I mean, I guess there's only one way to find out. I'm buying myself a Henry's watch. But first, I grabbed the bargain bin special from AliExpress because, hey, it's only $1. Oh, and no shipping fees. I literally paid $1.06. Henry's, on the other hand, is charging me $40 for this timeless wristband wonder. And considering it's usually $200, I figure I'm getting a steal. So I order. Now I know that I'm dealing with a suspicious business, so handing over my real email address seems a little unwise. It's a good thing that I'm using Aura, who's actually the sponsor of this video. With Aura, I can generate an alias that forwards emails to my main inbox while giving it a test drive and check out the other tools like their spam call protection and data removal service. Get a confirmation email via Aura telling me that my order has been received. And after 5 days go by, I'm notified that my watch from AliExpress is out for delivery. And I've got to hand it to AliExpress. I'm genuinely impressed. I paid $1 and I got a watch from China in less than a week. Regardless of what kind of quality it is, you've got to admit, that's pretty amazing. That said, the watch is exactly what I expected. It feels incredibly light and hollow inside. The size and strap isn't adjustable, and it feels like it just might snap if I bend it the wrong way. Every part of it just gives off the impression of being rushed through production with the cheapest materials possible. But Henry's watch was going to be different because it was made by a master craftsman with precision and care, which was why I was okay waiting twice as long for it to arrive. The tracking showed it moving from sort facility to another sort facility and then to the international airport. Wait, international airport? I thought Henry was American, making these watches by hand in his shop here in America. But no, this was definitely coming from across the world. So another week went by and it went to Los Angeles and then finally to me. And as I opened the package, I could tell that this was going to be different. This was going to be something timeless, elegant, and built to last for generations. And then I realized it's the exact same freaking watch as the dollar. They are literally the same. I paid $40 for something that's $1 on AliExpress.
Why settle for something mass-produced when you can own a watch with a true character? Hi, my name's Dan.
Your name's not Dan, it's Dave.
Hey, I'm Dave, and you found me.
And this watch is mass-produced. It's made by Dayros, a company based in China. And someone just went onto Alibaba and bought them in bulk, generated some AI images of an old man claiming to have made them in his shop, and then hired you on Fiverr to act like you just discovered the fountain of youth.
You'll love the story it tells.
They're selling you on this, but they're delivering on this. And they really didn't think that I would notice. So I decided I was going to write back to this Henry. And I said, Henry, thanks for the beautiful watch. If I wanted to order 50 more for my employees, do you offer discounted pricing? Do you think you have that many in stock? And he responded and he said, hi Ben, thank you for your kind words. We're thrilled to hear that you're enjoying the watch and we truly appreciate your support. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to share your experience by leaving us a review here. Your feedback means a lot to us. And I can see that he's got plenty of reviews and I'm wondering how many of them are actually genuine. He then says, regarding your bulk order inquiry, we're excited about the possibility of supplying your team with more watches. We will coordinate internally to check our stock availability and determine the best possible discount for your order. We'll get back to you as soon as we have the details finalized. Best regards, Henry. So then he writes back and he says, hello Ben, we have the information regarding your inquiry for the bulk order of our luxury businessmen's watches. We're pleased to offer you a special price of $1,399 for 50 pieces, which comes to $27.89 per watch. Oh hey, what a deal, I'm gonna get a 99-cent watch for only 28 bucks. So I tell him, let's do it. He says, hello Ben, before we proceed, could you kindly confirm the following details? And then lastly, can you confirm if all 50 pieces should be in the silver white color, or would you like a mix of colors? I reply, hello Henry, I like the silver color. I noticed yours is a lot like another one I found online. Can you explain how yours is better? Does the fact that yours is handcrafted means it's better quality? And that was the last I ever heard from him. He was just busy spending time with his grandchildren. But that's when I decided to leave a review on Trustpilot. I say, I got my watch from Henry's. I then bought the exact same watch on AliExpress for 99 cents. When I asked Henry what made his difference, he stopped responding. I wonder if he'll respond here. Probably not. But he did respond, and he said how sorry he was and how he takes pride in offering not just a product, but a curated experience. He said, I'd be more than happy to speak with you directly to make things right. Please feel free to reach out to us at info@henryswatches and we'll do our best to resolve this to your satisfaction. I did try to email you and you stopped responding, Henry. This Trustpilot page is probably just full of fake reviews and he only responded to me to make others think that he's serious about customer service. And that's why I'm making this video, to tell you what you can expect from Henry's Watches, or Grace Bags, or Susan's Bags, or any of these other businesses that are just buying cheap crap from China and using AI to target your emotions. And guess what? To show you how easy it is, I actually spent just 10 minutes starting a business of my own. I told Grok to show me working in a watch factory, and now I'm going to buy a bunch of Alibaba watches and mark them up $100.
Discover timeless elegance with Ben's watches. The finest handcrafted timepieces you can own. Each watch is built with precision, passion, and premium materials, making it more than just a watch. It's a statement. Ben's Watches, where craftsmanship meets class. Available now, but not for long.
So what are you waiting for? Go to bendoverwatches.com and get a piece of history today. I'm just kidding, don't do that, please.
So, that's how easy it is to make. Yeah, what?
Let's do it again.
No, you can watch it at home, you can take a picture. He makes 4 of these, right? So again, his job is to show you just how fast you can build companies now, or at least what scammers are doing with AI, right? Because you can go in and look at the puppy scam, you can go in and look at the AI-generated lawyer scams, the family who writes songs for you, and the don't buy AI puppies scam, right? Because again, you can use Sora to generate all kinds of stuff, right? And you can go in and generate these things, and these scammers are building these companies like you would not believe. So if you think that you're gonna go home and be like, man, it's gonna take like 6 months for me to get my business off the ground, that scammer did in like 1 hour. So,
Just like
yeah.
somewhat more
The
athletic.
worst,
Let's do that.
one of the worst type of scammers are job hires.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because I have faced so many of them.
Right. So how are they making money, right? Because the whole point of what I teach is like, this has to produce money, right? So they're going in and for the job postings that are fake and all that stuff, how are they making money? What are they doing?
So they will say something like, okay, we'll send you a check of $4,500 for laptop and everything and all equipment, cable, you know. But then they'll send you a check of $7,500, and they'll say, oh, we accidentally sent you a $3,000 extra. Can you please send that money back?
Right.
But when you deposit, it takes time for the bank to deposit the money, and you would have already sent, and then the check is sent, bounces.
Yeah, I mean, none of that money is real. But in terms of like the fake job postings, how do you make money doing that? What is the business model? The what?
I think data, maybe their data.
So when you apply for a job, what do you have to do? Give over your information. You have to give over your information, right? And they take that information and then they put it into a database and they can sell that information, or they can sell it to advertisers. They can do whatever they want with it, right? That's the whole point. That's the business model. You know. Yes.
So I'm a recruiter by day, and we get a lot of like just fake candidates.
Yeah.
You know, there's this rumor that like North Korea was like deploying a lot of people. I literally probably talked to like 30 of them. They'll show up, and you know, some people have the fake face. Some people will straight up like using ChatGPT on delay, and it's weird. After a while, I just like sit there and just start laughing at them. You know, it's so odd. Like I'm sure like I'm in some kind of surveillance.
Probably.
That, so.
Also, I noticed on LinkedIn, like for job seekers, there will be people who will make posts like, oh, okay, drop your email and we'll send you like this guide or something like that, or we'll send you a list of jobs and stuff like that. And then when you had like, there will be thousands of comments with just emails. People who are looking for jobs are
oh yeah, those people that said
now.
I made 80,000 this month in AI or something.
Those as well, but mostly there are people who say, okay, I have a list of jobs that you can apply for. I have a newsletter where I give all the latest jobs you can find. So that's on the method of data harvesting.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's kind of what I focus on, is just like it's very interesting, like the tools that I find that I come across with AI, right? Because I don't really, yes, I use Copilot, but there are so many other AI tools that are very novel and very different. I believe there's another site that just came out, AI Product Hunt, I think it is. I know I'm messing it up. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick so I can bring it back on the screen. But I just discovered this one.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming. I'm gonna go to this site real quick and see if I can find it. And this one just kind of came out.
So we can know.
Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, because it was very interesting what he had built, and I was hoping I could find it real quick. Yeah, probably, you know, when you're in a rush, you can't find what you're looking for, but I will show you is. I'll bring this up real quick. right here, it's like a database, right? So it just kind of shows you where all the AI tools are. Who here knows about this already, or kind of uses it? Okay. Just like that phrase, there's an app for that, there's an AI tool for that. And you can go in here and you can like search for all kinds of stuff. So if I want to do travel, I can look at travel and it shows me all the different AI tools that are related to travel in itself, right? So travel itineraries, travel plans, travel guides, travel recommendations. There's all kinds of tools for that.
And is that the name of the site?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep. And again, you can search all kinds of stuff, right? Like you could do tutor, you can do, let's say, legal. There's legal right there. British fashion advice. Right? So there's all kinds of stuff. And again, it's updated every second, right? So there's all kinds of tools you can find for your stuff, right? So if I wanted to do, let's say, consulting, I can go in here and have consulting coach. I think it gave me more. There we go. So there's 91 tools available, right? So I can go in here and look at all the different tools for, consulting that are out there. So, wow, what do you know? There's an Alex for Ability AI. Wow, what do you know? Yeah.
That vegan teacher?
A vegan?
That vegan teacher?
Who? That guy?
That vegan teacher.
No, he does gym stuff.
No, I'm talking about like that's her YouTube channel.
Oh, that vegan teacher? Wait, that's what you watch?
Well, no, because she's old and she says she's 69 years old.
Hey, watch it.
But yeah, so this is kind of where I go to look for like AI tools that are different, right? There's always something out there that's different. Who here knows about the? I think I have it. I might have already trashed it. Oh wait, there it is. Okay. So
yeah, right.
I have a great browser is how we should look at that, okay? A great browser.
Yeah.
Okay? Do y'all know this one right here? This one is 10 times bigger than ChatGPT. And better. So this is ByteDance's C model, right? And basically what they did was, what do you think ChatGPT can do? It can do basically way better, right? Good luck trying to install this. Okay. You need special hardware for these, right? But if you can access it, it beats ChatGPT like blows out of the water. I don't even want to think about that. It's huge, right? Like I forgot what it's. Where does it say? I think you can have GPUs on. Yeah, I mean you should be able to, but I forgot what it said.
But a no for me.
Yeah, there you go. So its context window is 512K. Which is more than what ChatGPT can handle, right?
Cloud is over $1 million, right?
For its context window?
Yeah.
For Claude.
Yeah. It's really hard.
Okay.
I want to get to know you. I want to know what you did.
Right.
Because my company is looking for a particular thing. And if I understand that 60% of these people can probably do the job. That's not what I got paid for.
Right.
I'm looking for a very specific thing.
Yeah.
It's not really what they want.
Is it 200K? Max 200K.
Okay.
No, max it is one
It's
million.
what they think they want.
Yeah.
And, okay, Google is 200. OpenAI is.
Oh, that was awesome. Awesome, yeah.
And that's.
So they must have changed it, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
This is their.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, that was one model that came out that ByteDance, but again, those people are not thinking about ByteDance and AI. Well, they're doing that because they're trying to compete with Alibaba and trying to compete with so they want the competition. Yes, thanks, man. Yeah, absolutely, thanks.
The law firm does the Tuesday lunch, where is that located, or what is the?
That is on 300 Colorado Street.
300 Colorado?
Yes.
And, you recall the firm that had?
That is, Mofo, Morrison and Forrester.
Mofo, Morrison?
Yeah, Morrison and Forrester, yes.
Oh, Morrison and Forrester?
Yes. If you search luncheon series, I would definitely say like register, cause it's a good series.
Yeah, no, I'll start with Morrison.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But then
Morrison's in San Diego.
Yeah.